الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وصحبه المنتجبين إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Somebody likes more darkness here? Okay. We have been talking about the concept of happiness in the last few nights. Since Ramadan is a month of happiness, happy Ramadan, that is actually after Salam, everybody says happy Ramadan. It's a month of blessing, month of joy, and month of salvation. And we went through certain verses and the hadith to understand better the concept of and the meaning of happiness. Whether happiness is just pleasure, it is to achieve our desires and dreams, it is money, it is material, what is happiness? And the conclusion was that Islam is not against getting benefit of the material thing, but these worldly matters can contribute to human sa'ada and human happiness, but basically the happiness has to do more with the spiritual than material. But of course there are so many things that are important for our life to be successful, for our life to be happy. Like having a good family, having a good wife and good husband. Even the hadith says, من علائم السعادة المرأة الصالحة. One of the signs of success and signs of joy and happiness is to have a righteous wife. This is why in the hadith it says, عليك بذات الدين. When you want to marry, it's not about, بمالها وحسبها ونسبها وجمالها. It's not about beauty and wealth and importance of the family. But عليك بذات الدين is about faith. Because when there is faith in the family, then there is trust and there is comfort and there is understanding. But if there is no faith and there is no purity, there is no righteousness, there is no sincerity, then there is no trust, and life can turn to misery in a situation like that. It's not happy, it's miserable. Like we see in the life of Prophet Muhammad, his relationship with Sayyid Khadija and then Imam Ali, and when he says, Imam Ali said that anytime I am under stress and I'm sad and things are unhappy in life, it's enough just to look at the face of my wife. And when I look at the face of my wife, Sayyid Fatima, is end of stress, end of grief, and I feel total joy and happiness. She is a great wife, نعم العون في طاعة الله. When it comes to obedience of Allah and comes to faith, she is my best assistant. Says Zainab the same thing. Unfortunately, these days, after almost 1400 years, there are foolish people and evil who cannot tolerate even shrine of Sayyid Zainab. So you can understand how great this lady was, the Lady of Light, this powerful woman who continued the message of her brother and all those people who sacrificed their life in Karbala. Sayyid Zainab continued that way, and if it was not for her leadership and her wisdom and her patience, we know too much about Karbala today. She was so great that the small enemies could not tolerate even her grave after so many centuries. This is why we should be so honored and dignified for showing our love for Ahlul Bayt and for people like Sayyid Fatima and Sayyid Zainab, Sayyid Khadija and their families. So it is important for a person to be happy, for a man to be happy, for a woman to be happy, to have a faithful family and salih, al-mar'a as-salih. The same thing about children. There is a hadith that al-waladu salih rayhanatun. The Prophet said, having a good boy, a good girl, is just like a flower. A flower that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala distributes this flower among certain people. قَسَمَهَا بَيْنَ عِبَادِهِ. So people who have good children, they are so blessed. They are blessed with this flower. There's another hadith that says, إِنَّ مِنْ سَعَادَةِ الْمَرْءِ أَنْ يَشْبَهُهُ وَلَدُهُ. If your son, if your daughter follow their parents in goodness, they follow the same job. You know, if you look at your father and just follow the job that he has, if it is an honorable job that he works hard to support his family, and you see that this is an honorable job, and you follow that, that makes it easier for you. Like if your father is a businessman and you work on the same field, it's much easier for you because he can help you, and there's already an investment that you already established, you just continue that. If your father is a doctor, or engineer, or journalist or whatever, they already have something. You can use the library that they already have, the business they already have, the building they already have, and you can continue. That makes it happier for the parents, happier for the children to continue that. Well, if you are not comfortable with the job of your parents, but still find something better than that. Let's say that your father works for the city and his job is to go and collect the garbage. I mean, garbage collection is a very honorable job. There's nothing wrong with that. Can you imagine if the garbage are not picked up for more than 1 week? It's just like a hell. You cannot survive. All the smelling and it's horrible. So they do a great job, the garbage collectors, and their job is very honorable because they are providing a great service to the community. Just a few days ago that it was so hot and they were picking up the garbage. They do it in our area, they do it I think on Wednesday. It was last Wednesday that it was so hot. So when they came to pick up the garbage from front of our house, my wife went and she took some water, like 6-7 these bottles of water, and gave it to them and with some ice cream. They are not fasting, right? So a muhajjaba lady to take water and ice cream and give it to the garbage collectors in such a weather like 1995, they appreciated in a way that they were like, my goodness, they never thought about that somebody from the house, and especially Muslim house, a woman with hijab, takes water and ice cream and go to the street and provide them with something that they badly needed. And they were so happy and they appreciated. They said, you know what, we were out of water, we were so thirsty, and you did this in a perfect time. And she was happy, obviously, when you do something like that and you make a garbage collector happy. then the happiness that you feel is even much deeper than that. So she was happy, and then I was happy that she shared this. I didn't think about it, she thought about that, and she shared this with someone who was badly thirsty. So that is a very dignified job, but now, if you don't want to follow your father in that job and you are not comfortable, you want to get more education and you want to do something, bigger for your life, that's fine. But generally speaking, the hadith says that one of the signs of happiness, sa'adat al-mar, and yashbahuhu waladuhu, that his son, his daughter, they are just like their father, in a dignified way, in a right job, because that makes it much easier for them. That's why I'm so happy, when I see my little son, Muhammad Hussein, he comes and he wants to give a lecture every night here and talks with, even in the house he does that. He takes a fake microphone and he goes on the chair and he keeps talking till the time that he loses his voice and he gets tired. Well, I hope he continues that, because you don't know. Now he's 3 years old, but hopefully when he is 15 or 20, still he would continue that. That is my nadr and that is my prayer that he does. But the point is, if he does, then he is happy and I'm happy, because he doesn't have to go and buy another library and all of these things. He can use what I have and, comfortably he can continue that. Another sign of happiness, brothers and sisters, is to have good friends. When you have a faithful family, you are happy. When you have faithful friends, that is another way to be happy. Real friend, the friends that they appreciate this friendship and they are happy because their friendship is based on faith. Akhun fillah. It's very important to choose a brother based on faith. It's not just on material that, let's go on cinema and watch a movie and have some popcorn and, Pepsi and get some ice cream and, help ourselves with a sandwich and, they are happy just, somebody pays for this. And the moment that there is no money, there's no friendship. If you can find a real friend, true friends, faithful friends, you are happy. And it's very important. But if God forbid, la samhanda, if you have a friend who is like foolish, a friend that is kadhab, lies all the time, that you cannot, there are people just lie for no reason. It's even not necessary. They get nothing out of it. They are kadhab, they lie. It's just part of their character. Or somebody is ahmaq, means stupid. You don't want to have a friend that is foolish, right? Or is munafiq, a hypocrite. So find a friend that is intellectual, honorable, truthful, that when you talk with him, when you talk with her, you learn something, you improve something, even in your mind or your soul, or something good for dunya, something good for akhirah. You don't want to have a friend that is a total loss. You don't get anything out of that. You're just losing. It's losing the dunya, losing the akhirah, losing everything. And how much problem of addiction and drugs and alcohol and death and destruction and misery happen to people's life because of bad friends. It's very, very dangerous. So when we say happy Ramadan, remember that happiness has connection with Ramadan, because Ramadan is a month of the Quran, month of revelation, month of reception of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we have this opportunity to learn the principles of happiness. That happiness is not only dunya. Happiness is not just power and fame and fashion, property, no. it has more with our faith and spirituality than material. The most successful people in the world are the happiest ones. So another way, if you want to be happy, you have to be successful in your life. When you say, Hayya ala al-falah, come to success, come to salvation. What is success? Everybody wants to be successful, right? Nobody wants to be a failure. But how we identify people as successful? Success is not an accident, it's not a chance. It is by choice, right? Let's remember this, that success is not by chance, it is by choice. We are the ones who make our life successful. How we do that? Well, first we need to use our brain. We need to have knowledge, we need to have education. If you have no knowledge and no understanding, then there is no way for us to be successful. Then when we have this foundation, we can have planning for our life. If you have no planning, if you have no goals for your life, if you don't understand the priorities in your life, that what is more important, what is less important, then how we can have success in our life. You are successful if you are able to deal with challenges that you face in life. Some people, they are not, people are challenging. Anything is, it's pain, it's difficult, it's impossible, all negative. No. If you want to be successful and at the end be happy, then you have to be able to deal with life as a struggle. Imam Hussein alayhi salam said, إِنَّمَا الْحَيَاةُ عَقِيدَةٌ وَجَهَادٌ. If you are able to practice jihad in your life, jihad doesn't mean those terrorism that those shayateen are doing in Syria and Iraq. In the month of Ramadan, month of fasting, going to the masjid and attack innocent people who are praying. What is even worse than this? First, it's the month of Ramadan, it's the month of the Quran, and then you go to the masjid and you attack people who are praying, and you do this in the name of deen. You bomb the shrine of Sayyidah Zainab in the name of Islam. This is the granddaughter of the Prophet. And you say you are Muslim and you are following the Sunnah of the Prophet. How come you don't tolerate even the grave of the granddaughter of the Prophet that you claim to practice his Sunnah? Well, foolishness is not like something different than this. That's a pure example of that. So if you consider your life as a struggle and you are ready to deal with the challenges, if you are a person of responsibility, if you can have positive energy in your life, if you are able to manage your time, if you are a person of communication, if you improve your moral values, these are all ways of being successful in life. Moral values. When you are patient, when you have the culture of appreciation, humbleness, love, generosity, respect for other human beings. So in order to be happy, you have to find the ways of success. If you are successful in your life, then you are happy in your life. And how to be successful? With planning, with knowledge, with priorities, with meeting the challenges, with having moral values and principles and respect and understanding. These are the ways that don't happen just by chance, but with our choice. And inshallah, this month of Ramadan, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us successful and make us happy through following the true teachings of the Holy Quran and the true teachings of Ahlul Bayt, inshallah. As Brother Ali is coming to continue this program, please say salawat wa Surah Al-Fatiha ala arwah al-shuhada, especially the shuhada al-yawm in Syria, in Iraq, and everywhere in the Muslim world, when the oppressed people are under attack and they are sacrificing their life for the principles, for the justice that they believe. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.